The ruling on the NMA, what exactly was the position of the court on that for the benefit of that? Was it dismissed? Was it rejected? Or what are we supposed to take out of it?
Well, the ruling is simply requires Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, to enter his defense. It's not a pronunciation of guilt or not guilty. So that is why it's called a no-case submission. So the judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court of Omahia, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember, when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing, by mistake, that these things were not in the evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we are coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
What about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise. But there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, you know, I don't think NMA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained, and we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the national hospital was rejected?
No, rejected? No, it's pending. Yes.
One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. It's pending. It's pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of Nigerian Medical Association. And you know, if you were in court, the judge had ordered that the committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the national hospital. So national hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. No, we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it as a war against the Igbos.
Thank you.
And just like he said, 2 sets of rules. One rule for the Igbos and one rule for every other Nigerian. This is a unique opportunity for Nigeria to be circumspect and look towards a political solution to this matter, and especially as it concerns high crime and criminality in the Southeast. So we are all disappointed, but God has not spoken yet. We will come back and show that the extraordinary rendition was indeed included in the submissions made to the court, and then the judge, like the barrister said, we will know whether he has jurisdiction or not. But for the Igbo people, this is your time to rise up and to speak up and to say enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
All right, have a good weekend. So that's correct. It's that the court will not be Ella.
They are dragging an innocent man who did nothing.
And you think that
no, this is wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong.
It's very clear here.
Get out. Big man, they sweet you.
So when you come down, let's talk about what we want to talk about.
Tabasi. Yes, sir.
I know.
Today's not an exception.
All right, sir.
You had the ruling.
Yes, sir.
Don't we?
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you, my babe.
So now it is okay to say Nnamdi Kanu is not guilty of any of these charges against him. He's not. He is now facing persecution already. He's no longer guilty again, because I do not see any reason why this man should be in detention up to today. Every time, even today now, hoping that the case was going to be dismissed, so that he will go for a medical checkup. Yet nothing. He's still being reminded in the custody there. Still be detained. No. If truly we are one, we should behave like one. If truly we are one, we should do things like we are truly one. It means that we are not one. It means that these people, Nnamdi Kanu is facing or is receiving this punishment for the offenses that whatever might have happened in the past. Nnamdi Kanu he alone is now paying for the sins of their forefathers, or whatever reasons. I don't know, because this is not fair. This is not fair. This is an insult. This is a tribal war that they are fighting this particular region, because a country where government officials, clerics are not having a meeting, are not having peace talk with bandits with fully arms, yet we can't do nothing about it. And somebody who has never been found, or no weapon has ever been found under his possession. So he just by words of mouth, a freedom fighter, is not a terrorist, even if you decided to place him in that category, because what he uses his mouth to say that he's inciting or is trying to, whatever reason, you can't compare to somebody who is fully armed. This is just a freedom fighter fighting for the benefit of their own region, because of this sideline, because of this hatred for this region. That's why he is fighting for their own country, that they do not have any, since they are not belong. So they want to have their own country. They want to be on their own, so that this intimidation will not come. Intimidation will stop. Whoever people thinks they have national, the Nigeria belongs to them, they can focus on the Nigeria. They focus on their own Biafra. Do you understand? But yet they are not being given the opportunity. They are not given the opportunity, and somebody who is representing the leader has been detained till this time. How many years? We've seen videos how many times having peace deal with government officials. We say we are one. No, we are not. I think this is a time that the Igbos, this is a slap on all the Igbo leaders. So some of the politicians, because we have few of them in politics, and few of them do not have any serious position in government. That's another problem. So this is a time they need to rise up and fight for their own blood. That there is no more charges against this person. That there is no charges. He cannot provide evidence. He cannot defend himself. What do you want him to do? So this is a time that we don't, in fact, the time has gone beyond where asking him to go and bring evidence of this, bring evidence of the judges today, this thing today. That time has gone. Now it's just a deliberate attempt to just hold this man in detention for one reason or the other. Now is the time for the Igbos to say no to whatever reasons they are holding Nnamdi Kanu. It's not by talk again, it's by action. If the problem, that's why I talk my own, if the problem won't start now, may the problem start. Igbo, not be say Igbos, they fear any tribe. Now, because of the peace, when because they are known for peace. They want everything done diligently, due process according to the law. That's what they believe in. They are not violent. They are peaceful people. That's why up to today they give peace for. They want peace. Everybody to go. Let do things accordingly. Let Lord take His cause. Out today, yet they refuse to do the needful. So I think it is the time that they need to stand up for their brother. They need to take action. If that action is going to even cause the revolution should start. Yes, if that action want to cause the revolution, may it just start. So the revolution will break out and make the Nnamdi Kanu come out of the dissension. Because I see no reason why he should still be there. That is just it. That's what I have to say, because the problem is too much. Anyways, that's why they talk my own. Please like, share, comment, and follow for more. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be your guy. Please subscribe.